So you have requested an eyebrow tutorial quite a bit because, I don't know, I guess you guys like them. I used to not do very much to my eyebrows, but I've added a little bit to my routine. And so as you can see, this eyebrow is not done. And some eyebrows are really, really light and very sparse on this side. Overplucking is bad. Don't do it, guys. So yeah, basically what you're going to need, what I use is my Rimmel eyebrow pencil, and I use black because I'm a really cool toned blonde, and so if you use brown shades, a lot of the time they have a lot of red in them, and that can end up looking bad and really fake. So definitely like a black or a gray for blondes, because if you do it light enough, it'll look natural. And then I use this little shader, which is the Robert Simmons angled shader, and I actually use that for like that part of my brow underneath my arch. And then I use this little Sigma 266 brush for the actual brow putting on. And then I use this stuff I love. It's the CoverGirl and Olay Simply Ageless. And if you guys haven't used this, it's really amazing. The texture is really, I don't know if you can really see that very well. It's very creamy and thick, but very easy to blend. Great for under eyes and such. And this one's the corrector, not the concealer. So this one has like a lot of yellow tones in it, which is good for my skin tone, but not everybody would need that. And then for a highlight, I kind of use a different highlight like every day. I really love this one by my Beauty Control palette. You guys all know that I'm addicted to this palette. I use it in like every one of my videos. But this cream color uses a highlight a lot. It's like a satin finish by MAC, if you guys know what those are. It's not really, it doesn't pick up any of the glitters on my camera. But it's, I don't know, it's pretty matte for the most part, but it's got like really fine shimmers that you don't really see. And then I like to use pinks for my highlights sometimes. So I really love this one from my For Sweetie Cakes quad. This is one of my favorite palettes from MAC. And that color is Gâteau. Right there. Some other favorites. This is kind of old, so you can't even see it, but it's these Maybelline eyeshadow rollers. And I'm not even sure if they have these anymore, but this is called Give It a Whirl Pearl. And it's just a really pretty, like, pearly color. But I don't know. For the most part, I think I use my Beauty Control palette the most, because I don't really like a whole lot of glitz. Okay, so what I would start with is my pencil. And let's see, I'm going to need to use the mirror for this a little bit. So you just want to kind of really lightly trace in the shape of your brow. And that's just kind of like a guideline for me. And then I would take my 266, my Sigma brush. I love Sigma. And then I kind of use a mixture of a lot of colors for my Coastal Scents palette. I don't know if I showed you guys that we would need this, but for the first part of my brow, I would use like a mixture between these two colors. You guys can see that top one and the one right underneath it, because those are two really matte brown shades. And then just kind of put that in really light at the beginning of your brow. And then you can get into darker shades. I use this shade and then this shade at the bottom for the end of my brow to add some definition. So the further that you go back, the more, for me personally, I like more definition towards like on this side of my brow opposed to right there. So I go for darker colors. So just kind of fill it in until it looks even. And so obviously you can see that's still like this side, it has a really nice clean arch, and this side looks all messy still. So that is when our concealer would come in. and our angled shader brush. So I would just kind of dip that into the concealer a little bit. So I barely have any on there. You don't need much of this stuff. And then I would kind of trace a line under my brow, like that. And then I would blend down and slowly work it up. You don't want concealer like on your eyebrows because that can look, I don't know, really fake, I guess. And so I would put a little on the top as well. And that part I find a little bit easier to blend with my fingers. And then you can always go back in with the pencil or your shadows to kind of just fix any pieces. And then just kind of keep editing it. And this is a whole lot easier to do in the mirror when you don't have a backwards webcam on you. And so then I would take my highlight, which for now I'm just going to use my angled shader. You can really use any kind of brush for this. And I'm just going to use this color from my Beauty Control palette, that middle one. This palette is called the Sensuous Shadows, by the way, in Cool 1225. Okay, and I'm just going to work that along my brow bone. And I go underneath the whole way just to get that extra bit of definition. And clearly my eyebrows are very asymmetrical right now. Again, backwards webcam. And I think I'm just going to touch up with a little bit of Gateau. Just on that high point of the arch right there. Okay. So that is how I've been doing my eyebrows. So I hope this was helpful for you guys, and keep requesting videos and such. Thanks. Have a good one.